after 4 straight losses. What's sort of been the theme of the week to try and get the boys back on track against a good Tuxedo?
Just to improve on the areas we let ourselves down with for periods last week. Came out of that game fairly encouraged by some of the good things, but we've just been working on the phases that need a little bit more of a sheen on it. We haven't been using the ball well enough for long enough, but there was enough good in that performance to provide some encouragement for this week.
Hey, Bevo, you're unchanged. Is that more of a reflection of you found the right mix last week, or just knowing in the VFL just hammering out the door?
Oh, well, we weren't far away from beating Fremantle at their home deck, who'd been pretty good the week before against a good GWS side. So we feel like the team, even though we're not winning, isn't far away. It is definitely playing a stronger game for longer. There's no doubt about that. We've had a couple of games that we've been pretty disappointed with. The consistent output for the 4 quarters, but there's been there's been 4 games where we've been reasonable. So we're not. You can't just turn it on its head. We can't flip it over. The VFL Footscray team had a tough day at Willie last week. There were a couple of boys who were putting pressure on for spots prior to that, and they'll get their chance. We can't have. If you're winning every week, it'd be nice to be picking unchanged sides week to week, but we'll need to reward that at some point. Our VFL side plays Casey out there on Sunday, and I think some of the lads in the AFL team are definitely feeling some pressure to play well. But we hope that amounts to victories. We think we're still in that area where we can beat most sides, and we go in Saturday night thinking we can beat Richmond, or believing we can beat Richmond.
You talk about wanting that consistency over 4 quarters. Is that, you haven't seen it in patches? Is that more of a mental thing, a physical thing? You've got a gauge on it?
Well, part of it's not necessarily the work ethic. I think we've started a couple of games slowly, and that's been frustrating, and that is a work ethic thing at times. But it's more the consistency with the Sharon, and having to defend turnover when it should be in our hands. That becomes a challenge when you're defending more and more. We don't harp on the statistics, but the KPIs around opportunity paint a good picture for us, but we don't capitalise on them. And that's our endeavour, to make sure we do. We've been a team for a long time that, believe we've got a pretty good system, creates enough chances and defends pretty well as a group. But if you're not taking them and hitting the scoreboard, then it comes back to bite you, and that's what's happening a little bit. So is that a positive? I think it is, in that it's we haven't got any concerns with our players really applying themselves and doing the best in a team environment. We just need to be better with the ball and be able to use our leg speed, in the right manner and get us into space.
Just on the scoreboard, does Aaron Norton stay as a swingman, or ideally would you like him to sort of be planted up forward?
Yeah, he's only really going back if we play a ruckman out of our back line, which we did last week. So he went down there to relieve. Fremantle are quite a tall forward line. So, Taberner and McCarthy and Hogan didn't have really any impact last week. We felt our back line held up pretty well, and that it all depends on the pressure up the ground, as we know. So Aaron might head back occasionally, depending on the momentum of the game, but we're seeing enough to understand that not only now but in the future he's going to be really important for us forward. He's got all the attributes, and look, it's going to be hard for him at times. As I just mentioned, the 3 Fremantle forwards who had really played well. Oh well, McCarthy didn't play, but the other 2 had played really well against GWS. But you don't get the spoils every week. It's a difficult position to play. So he'll apply himself again this week, and he'll start up forward, and we'll play through him, and he'll. No doubt he'll be cleaner with his hands, and he'll have opportunities, and hopefully we can capitalise on some of his good play.
confidence remains with your system? Obviously, scoring has been a bit of an issue over the last month. Have you got a few guys who are a bit out of touch inside 50?
Well, it's coming and it's going with some of them. You know, I mean, you separate the set shots from the general play opportunities, and some of those break down just between the arcs. You know, when we really have got the stepping stones in place after a turnover to score, and we're just letting ourselves down with a handball or a kick that should connect, and it's not always the last kick. So it's a bit of both. And yeah, there are, and you know, definitely our midfielder. You know, challenging each other to continue to use the ball better, especially when they've got time, and we need more consistency there. And if we get that, then that will and the application around work ethic remains. Then, you know, we will be that side that's very hard to beat.
Richmond losing a tall either end of the ground, they must make things a little easier for you guys.
Yeah, well, they've got a similar. Configuration or composition in their team to what we have. They're not a tall side, and yeah, they've lost some experienced players, but it's been impressive to see the way some of the young guys have come in and performed in the Richmond team. So that's very encouraging for them. And yeah, as you're mentioning, the aerial game or that battle. You know, I think both teams height-wise won't be far apart, which is a bit different for us. So hopefully we can win some of those and take a couple of bites inside our 50 and be able to hit that scoreboard from those set shots.
A bit more unpredictable, Bevo, given those youngsters that have come in.
Are they a bit
stacked like the youngsters?
Bit more unpredictable? Yeah, maybe. I mean, as I said, yeah, he's one of those young fellas that's been impressive, and they're fleet of foot, and even Menadue coming in this week, he's a runner, he's quick, and Shy Bolton, you know, so they've got lots of those sort of nippy forwards who can cause you some headaches, and we'll need to play strong defensive games at ground level on those lads, and yeah, and I suppose, you know, in the scheme of things and the way that the ball pings around. And the speed of the game, that'll be a fascinating part of the game, I would have thought. Which team manages the intensity of the game, because they play really well. They play a surging, take ground sort of at all costs type approach, and we can't let them through our layers. It'll be a challenge for us.
2 games back in the VFL for Tommy Boyd now. Are you confident he can put his hand up to push for selection in the near future?
He's a long way off, Tom. Yeah, so you know, maybe, you know, we're hoping at some point in the back end of the year he might have played enough footy to find his best, but yeah, he's a long way off.
Have you got his injury sorted, or is he?
His back's okay, and he's in the full-time program, and now it's just really, you know, pushing those standards around conditioning and getting himself back to his physical best, and then having the match practice behind him and being ready for AFL again. And so that's the uncertainty with Tom, and yeah, we're a fair way off that.
Good to see Dale Morris
yeah.
again.
Yeah, it's I think he's going to cost surgeons a lot of money in the future. He's circumstantially, because he's a little bit older, it was a good decision to see whether or not the knee would mend last year, and then obviously it did, and then the other ones, you know, come on just as well. So hopefully after the bye, maybe a couple of weeks after the bye, just after the mid-year period, Dale might be available to play footy again. It's a fascinating journey the last 2 years for him, but he's just the ultimate professional, and the thing is, when you're conditioning yourself when you can't run, it's all upper body, so he's virtually turned into Thor now. No, it's great. He's such an important character around our workplace.
100 games for you, congratulations. A bit's happened in that time.
Yeah.
How do you reflect on that?
Oh, look, I'm quietly proud that it's, you know, I can't operate and function without so much the support I get from, you know, our coaches and you know, our players obviously make or break, you know, the people around them with their application and their performance, and I'm, you know, really thankful for what they've done for the club over my brief journey. But yeah, you sort of reflect on, you know, back when I was appointed, when Simon Garlick, you know, called me in San Diego, and you know, Luke Darcy and Peter Gordon and all the people that sort of backed me in, and you know, we're going to come again. We feel, as I said earlier, we feel like we're not far away from, you know, from being a team that has a little bit more faith in their consistency. But we're under no illusions that we're not quite there yet. But yeah, it's definitely a time to reflect and thank all the people that have helped you to this point, and hopefully we can go on and coach the club for another 100 games. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, thanks everyone.